It's the Cowboys pregame show. Let's go. Brought to you by Law Nation Studios, home of Law Nation Sports. Let's continue to grind to shine. The name is Law Nation. Come on. As the room fill up, be sure to understand. This is a week-to-week situation. The name of this one is the Cowboys, they must establish confidence. Why? Well, when you're confident, nothing can stop you. And if you fall, still fight it. That's my mantra. As they say, ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. But what about a Law Nation rule? Shout out to you, JR214, for the thumbnail. I really appreciate him. Come on. As the room fill up. Let's go. Hit that like button for your boy. Subscribe for your boy. Let's go, Cowboys. Who's scared and who nervous? Let me know in the chat. I need to know right now. Win, lose, or draw. I'm rooting for this team. I'm supporting this team. We getting it out of the mud for this team. 5, 4, 3, 1. Let me see some blue hearts in the chat. If you're not scared, let me see some blue hearts in the chat, baby. Come on.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Come on.
Come on.
Stay hydrated, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's get it. It's a tough path, but hey, I wouldn't want it no other way, y'all. This is life. You got to get it out of the mud. I appreciate all of you guys with the blue hearts, with the communication for the nation. Win, lose, draw. Ain't nobody jumping off ships over here. I don't want to see nobody putting down one and done, none of that stuff. Hey, it is what it is. Let me go over the inactive list for you guys. All right, so according to the Cowboys account, we'll be in this battle, in this warfare, in the trenches without these guys. Will Greer, he's not going to be there, ladies and gentlemen. He haven't been there all year for us for some reason. He haven't been there, guy. All right, and on that list, Jabril Cox, he's not that guy for us this year. You know, just go ahead, just take Jabril Cox out of the mix. Jalen Tolbert, not Jalen Tolbert, he's out. He's not activated. Appreciate you for the super chat, Rev. Thank you so much. Jalen Tolbert is one of those guys we've been waiting to see, so we won't see him today. Nashawn Wright, my goodness, Nashawn Wright would not be there. I wonder what happened to him, man. You know what I mean? Nashawn Wright would not be there. Trayvon Mullen would not be there. What? These two names not there. Neville Gallimore as well as Quentin Big Bo Hanna. You know, we won't see him at all. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this would be a finesse type of situation. Maybe this is a situation whereas we look at a big play out of Jonathan Hankin and Osa down inside. Oh, excuse me, we do have my guy Carlos Watkins. So those will be your interior threats. Those will be your interior guys. I think that the Cowboys still can figure things out in this light. I hope that everything can work its way out with those boys, right? Appreciate you for the super chat. JD from DC. Yes, indeed. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's one of those things whereas we have to just sit back and we have to look back at it. Ain't this right, JD from DC? And see how this all unfolds.
JD from DC, $4.99. No Bahana or Gilmore? Huh?
Yeah, that was the most, like, I gave the eyes emojis, like, but, hey, things happen, man, and sometimes you got to be figuring things out, building a plane as we fly. And I know a lot of people would say, hey, man, Law, we've been building this plane since the off season, man. It's one hell of a plane, y'all. Come on now, man. It's Mickey. Come on now. Mickey says, come on now, Xavier Rhodes over to Sean all day. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Come on.
FBI, open up!
Yeah, so and Ghost and that DT. I'm not gonna say nothing on that, Cowboy Nation. I'm not gonna dive too much into that, But it is what it is.
Yeah, if the officials, to me, I would much rather give up a 5-yard defensive holding penalty than I would find a way to, have some of these huge plays where all of a sudden you get double moves when you're playing off. That's the thing. I think Babe is right about this. Babe Laufenberg. You're going to see some double move stuff. If they play off coverage, you're going to see some the slant go stuff. You're going to see,
can you hear audio
routes.
good?
You're going to see things that are going to be some vertical routes. But to me, I'm getting up on these guys, and the one thing that can throw Brady off is make him throw as many contested balls as you can. Make these receivers fight. I've seen games with the Buccaneers where these receivers, Evans and Godwin and those guys, when it's contested plays, haven't made as many catches. So I'm not giving them any free access to catch the ball in routes. I'm going to make every ball a contested ball if I can.
And Xavier Rhodes is going to get a lot of run today, first action
absolutely.
As a Cowboy.
Yeah, he will. And
veteran corner, a little bit slow.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's, the length, the fight, the toughness, all those are positive. All those are things why Dan Quinn would like to have him on the field and will have him on the field. We learned today through Christie that Nahshon Wright, he's inactive. So, they are really, they're putting their eggs in this veteran basket to see if they can figure out something going on at that left cornerback spot.
Yes, and they got a lot of stuff going on the offensive line as well that we will continue to address and look at here as we keep breaking down this matchup. 65 minutes to kickoff. Let's get you tonight's Coach's Corner, the one-on-one with the voice of the Cowboys, Brad Sham, live from Tampa with Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. That is coming up next.
All right, so as we wait for that, ladies and gentlemen, all right, let me give you guys my thoughts on this, especially as it relates to, the Cowboys going with Xavier Rhodes. Who been following the Florida State guy for all of these years? Let me know. And here's the thing, though, Cowboy Nation. It's a good deal and it's a bad deal. When you have experience, it will beat up all type of talent when you have experience any day, right? It will give you shortcuts. Nevertheless, Father Time is undefeated. Now, here's the thing. When we look at Xavier Rhodes' resume, we would say, all right, big physical type of DB, right? Who haven't gave up 100 yards in, let's say, 3 years, right? Now, when we think of those things, all I need for my veteran guy to do is, if even though he's not the fastest of the fastest, Revis was never a fast dude, right? Revis was a big physical DB as well. And I'm not calling Xavier Rhodes any Revis Island, right? I'm not calling him that. But maybe this would be a situation in a half to slide protection, roll protection. I mean, roll your help over the top, your safety help over the top to get things going. That could be flat out the game plan. Shout out to you, Twin. Thank you for jumping in. That's my brother from the same mother. Appreciate him. Yeah, shut down Evans. Evans not a fast foot guy, but he is a guy. Mike Evans is a guy that can get you at the top of the route on his 9. So what you got to do is have safety help over the top. But if you trust your guy to man him underneath, then it's going to be a long night for Tom Brady. Law called Rhodes Prime Revis. I heard it. No, they ain't in the same conversation. They ain't in the same conversation. But what I'm saying is that similar to those guys of not having the speed but having the intellect, right, to redirect, to man underneath. But you got to have safety help over the top. That's just the bottom line. If anybody get burnt, I would prefer it to be Trayvon Diggs because I know that wide receiver had to earn every bit of it, and it's not going to happen on a consistent basis. So let the safety help over the top be on whatever side opposite of what we got from Trayvon Diggs. That's how I look at it. I ain't going to say similar to Brandon Carr, but Brandon Carr is a guy that I can't say similar, man. The similarities are not there. You know what I'm saying? And even though you guys may want to say the same, but no.
Better than it.
No. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate y'all for jumping in for this pregame show.
Please have a better tomorrow.
Yeah, we waiting for them to come back from commercial break. Diggs got beat a lot. That's Mandela effect. I don't know about that. Team shy away from Trayvon Diggs. Everything is overhyped with the Cowboys. That's what I believe. But you do got two safeties. You do got two safeties, right? Don't get greedy with it. Play too high. Force Brady to try to dink and dunk it, which he will do. Play too high. I would literally play too high and say, Brady, here's the middle of the field. And that's when you can send my guy LVA, who's pretty good in coverage. Let him be your hook to flat guy, play too high, and then let this be a game that's won on the ground for the Tampa Bay, which they're not afraid to pull the trigger and run the ball, but play too high. That's what I would do. Let me know what y'all would do, fam. Let me know in the chat how y'all would play that against Tom Brady. And if you can get pressure with 4, this can be a good game for us. Long game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you can get those boys to throw the ball 40 to 45 times, then that would be a good situation as well. But what you can't do is blitz, and then you have the one-on-ones. He's seen more football than most of these guys ever thought of, and he will galvanize you. He will carve you up.
Pick up in store or
That's just how it goes. Michael Parsons would be the difference maker. I think that they already just said, you know what, Parsons, you're an edge rusher. You're an edge rusher, a part-time. See, last year was the inverse. He was a part-time edge rusher. You know what I'm saying? But now he's like a full-time edge rusher, part-time linebacker. And I really not too high on that, but that's just how the Cowboys decided to do with that.
The original light beer.
No, Sam Williams is not out. Heartland Cowboys. He's playing today. You know, here's the active list right here. I don't see Sam Williams on the inactive list. Diggs got to be careful. This is from Jamie. Well, there's only one guy that's good with acceptable the double moves, and that is Chris Godwin. And I think Diggs won't be on him like that. But we'll find out, man. We'll see how they're going to have the matchups. And Chris, he's more of an inside slot guy. He's not primarily on the outside. So I'm looking at it like this. When they line Chris on the outside, Trayvon Diggs will pick that up. Or if they line Evans on his side, he'll pick that up. The guy that's going to get that busy work today, we're going to be that Ron Bland. He's going to be that busy work guy.
And we welcome in Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, no stranger to this postseason business. We've asked a number of your players this week what's their perspective on what's different about the playoffs. Usually they say, well, it's one and done. Thank you. We know that. You've got a different, longer, broader perspective. What's different about it for you?
The energy. The energy is always good, on Sundays, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, just sitting there this weekend, I was inspired by watching Baltimore play last night. It just jumps off the TV to you, and it was frankly something I talked about today in the team meeting. So there's nothing like playoff energy and excitement and the juice
right.
that goes into every play, and how important the finish of every play is. Because there's plays, there's big plays in these games. There's approximately going to be 32 to 34 big play opportunities in this game. But when you see the momentum plays, just using Baltimore-Cincinnati game, you got a play that creates a 14-point swing. And so it's
there you go.
And that playoff football excitement and how you just keep going for it. And so far 4 of the 5 games have come down to the last series, and I feel comfortable that this team is over prepared for end of the game situations just from our commitment to it. So I just love the way our guys are dialed in, but I would say clearly the excitement, Brad.
Now, at what point for young players especially do you notice that a playoff game goes from more intense, more focused to, oh wait, we're playing a football game. We've played a lot of football games this year.
Oh yeah, that part's never lost. Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
I mean, it's football, and it's important for everybody to stay in their routine, stay in their headspace, and but it's just about having your emotional battery fully charged. It's about having your mental battery, your focus, and fully charged. And then physically, we've had 8 days to prepare for this, so I know we're in great shape, physically. So it's just really, something that you strive for each and every week. So that part's very similar. But we know what this game's about. We've been guaranteed 4 quarters,
right?
And we want to come out and start fast and just make sure that our production and the efficiency of the things we've been doing all year, that we display them here tonight.
We know now. You discussed it a little bit about the baby pictures, the guys who were born the last time the Cowboys won a road playoff game. So I'm curious whether that was designed to tell them how long it's been since the Cowboys have won a playoff game on the road, or to create a different perspective that you can't control what happened when you weren't alive.
I mean, to be honest with you, Brad, it was more of a Monday, day one, media obligation perspective of, hey, you may get this question, and just the reality was, that's what was really driving. I wasn't using it for any type of motivation. There was nothing behind it. It was just the facts of the matter is,
right.
That's not our circus. That's not our responsibility, and we just want to make sure we keep our focus tight and on preparing to beat the Buccaneers. And I think our players have done a good job of that.
Teams are very different than week one, as you would expect, as you would hope. What concerns do you have about their team different than you did in week one?
Well, I think just, I don't want to say concerns. I think just things you identify with. Number one, Jensen's back at center. Just that combination. So just really getting identified of exactly how they're going to line up, and frankly, make sure we're identifying on top of how they react to how we're lining up. Because, it's just like anything. Both teams have had 8 days to prepare for this
game.
Get it
right,
so you're
man.
going to see some new wrinkles tonight.
He needs some milk.
For both teams. So that's the reality of it. Yeah, I don't have any concerns.
You can't. The players can get their energy out by going out there and run around and play. You can't do that. The wrinkles, is that how you do it? Put stuff in during the week and then see if it works out on game day?
No, I'm more about trusting your process and the things that we put in. I'm not a big fan of trying out plays. I'm not a copycat guy. I think that's really what February, March, April, May is for.
There you go.
You got to build your menus strong and with a lot of depth. Make sure your conceptual training is intact and well repped. So when you get because we want to play football tonight. Like I told them, I said there's no time for evaluation tonight. This is about elimination. It's about eliminating the Buccaneers.
One thing that's different in playoff football is the officiating crews. You spend all year paying attention to every guy in the crew. Yeah. Welcome to all-star officiating crews. How do you feel about those, and how does it change the way you approach the game?
Well, the good thing is the statistical analysis. You just throw that right out the window because it doesn't work because you don't have, you got guys that haven't worked together. So I think the biggest thing is communication. These guys they've earned this opportunity too. So this is their playoff, and trust me, they want to do a good job. And I just like I tell our players, and I told them again today, just make sure we're communicating, be proactive, talk to these guys, and just you got to work together, and that definitely works a lot better than screaming and out yelling, because that doesn't work. I've tried it.
Both ways. Last one, I heard a lot of guys say during the week with your players, they really thought you had a great week of practice. Do you evaluate it that way?
Yeah, definitely. I just think like anything, Wednesday was the communication was for an install day was really good. and then Thursday still is your final install, as far as your third down, red zone, and all the things that go in a 2-minute. And I thought we had a really good practice, but I thought really the best thing we did was our yesterday practice. Our launch Saturday practice was almost to the T. I mean, as far as the amount of work, the volume. I mean, we have a score of 200 that we try to hit. We were 201, and we're done 10 minutes early, so that tells you about the tempo, the pace operation, mindset. Things are quick and substitutions. All that was in line. So we are ready to go, Brad. I can promise you that.
Okay, have fun, and I'm for doing another one of these next week.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I'm right with
Mike
you,
and,
too.
fellas, back to you.
Thank you very much, Brad Sham. Tonight's Coach's Corner brought to you by Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. And Lincoln, the official luxury vehicle of the Dallas Cowboys. True luxury that transports you to experience the power of sanctuary for your...
Get with it, baby. I love the analysis from Coach Mike McCarthy. Let's see if we can utilize some of these analysis on the field. Now, if you guys paid close attention to what he said, that, hey, pretty much they are on point with all of their workouts. They're on point with what they think as far as the game plan. They have 8 days to prepare for this game. So these boys should not be worried at all. These boys should be hitting on all cylinders. Hey, let's go, Cowboy Nation. Hey, this is the moment that, hey, we all live for. This is the moment we all need.
Actually, when you mentioned to me earlier that this Cowboys pass rush, Micah Parsons and company has not drawn a holding call. They have not drawn a flag for holding since the Green Bay game in Week 10.
Wow.
That's as far back as you have to go to get
because
a Cowboy holding
can't
call. There's
like
no
us.
way that is legitimate.
They don't like us.
In terms of like Micah Parsons being held all the time, but the Cowboys can't seem to get a call. Maybe tonight they will.
Maybe they will, and that's the thing with the All-Star crew. There's a couple of things you look at. Generally, the umpire stays with the head official. So, Wolsted's, his umpire will be with him. So we'll see if they can get a holding call or two out of that. They usually don't mix that part of it up. The other thing you need to keep an eye on, and I mentioned this really all week. Well, I shouldn't say all week. Thursday is when I started, when we were breaking down the officials. The one thing that he can control is roughing the passer. That is a head official's call. So he's responsible for protecting the quarterbacks in this game. And Craig Wolstad is one of the lowest in the league.
Just call it both ways.
Roughing the passer penalty.
Hello, let's hit Brady all night then, Broadus.
So, yeah. Now, your quarterback might get hit, and their quarterback might get hit, too. So just kind of be aware of that.
Just call it both ways.
I think one of the keys to this game is how many times, with Tampa wearing these white jerseys, if you see grass stains on the back of that Tom Brady jersey, that's usually a great sign for whoever's playing him.
What about key to the game? Dak Prescott
Shout out to
using
you,
his
Heartland.
legs.
I like it.
For the 99 stars.
There was a time early in this game in the in the first game where they ran an option they brought Turpin in the game and they ran a speed option.
Oh, and Dak kept it.
Dak kept
the
it.
First, right?
Got the first down, ran for about 8-9 yards.
Fullback Dak,
got a first down. So yeah, I mean, this is one of those things. It's it's lose and
Giants
go home.
game, I believe.
Lay it all out there.
I know. Mike was talking about. Well, I don't like putting in this, that, and the other, but. No, you've got to empty the bucket as far as trying to get a win here.
Empty the
on
clip.
road.
I love it. We're about 50 minutes to a Cowboy kickoff. It is playoff time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get off this road playoff losing streak. Let's get off the Brady losing streak. We're 0-0 versus Brady in the playoffs, and we're about to be 1-0. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome in NFL Network's Jane Slater coming up next right here. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
All right, man. There's some good stuff right here all together collectively, y'all. The Cowboys just empty the clip. Shoot it out. Just shoot it out. Great weather, great conditioning. I see you over there. So here's the thing, 1,000 true. The Cowboys in this game, don't worry about what happened 10 years ago. Don't worry about what happened 15 years ago. And ladies and gentlemen, don't worry about what happened 30 years ago. Focus in on what you need to do in this game, and everything will work its way out. I do like the fact that he did use the motivation and reverse, psychology on those boys by showing pictures of who were alive since the last time we did win a road playoff game. The psychology of it, the reverse part of it. And storylines are greater when you have the ability to win the game. It just cures all, Iceberg says, Law, I don't have faith in Dak Prescott. Well, Don't put it in him. Don't put it all on him. Put it on the team, baby. Put it on the team. I don't think that there's a soul out there that said, hey, man, let's put it on Brad Johnson. Let's put it on Trent Difford. Let's put it on Nick Foles. Joe Flacco. No, it's not the one. It's the 22. It's all on the offensive side and the defensive side. It's the 46 if you want to add everyone. You know what I'm saying? Or is it 48? I think it's 48. It's 48 active day guys that need to get it out of the mud. And that's right, doctor. Thank you for the $4.99 for your mind. Yes, indeed. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Hankins better than Bohanna. I feel you, fam. Ultra Cowboy. But we just need for those guys. I don't care who's better or who's for worse. We need those guys to show up and show out. Let's get it. Let's get this thing going the best way possible. I need for somebody to stand tall tonight. I need somebody to make a play. Dive for the catch. Don't allow the ball to hit your chest and then it bounce up in the air. Let's not give new life for anybody, right? Run the rock with Tony Pollard. If the grass is slow for us, the grass is slow for them. There ain't no certain pieces of the grass that's only going to be slow for us. So get that out of your mind. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, collectively speaking, playing on the natural grass, it's a little softer when you land on it versus the turf. So this is a good thing for us, basically. So take the negative and turn it into a positive. Yeah, LVE is back. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Yeah, it's about, hey, man, the grass going to make us run slow. Well, it make them run slow too, right? Let's go, Cowboy Nation. And let's not forget that this was the same team that we played in Tampa, not earlier this year, but last year. Even though we lost, we were still able to put up some yards, man. We were still able to move the ball. I don't need Dak to win the game. Just don't lose it. Yeah, I like that point right there, Jamie. Thank you. Thank you for that. Turpin could be faster. Yeah, kid. Yes, indeed. While everybody else slow, he could be faster. Yeah. He probably can cut better, too. Sometimes you be slipping and sliding on that turf, Let's go.
Uh-oh. We will get Jane back on the horn here momentarily as she is, I believe, inside the booth, Raymond James Stadium. Probably Brad.
She's probably down on the field.
Over her shoulder. Is she down on the field, perhaps?
Probably down on the field doing some stuff. I mean, probably Christy handed her that headset.
All right, we'll try it again. Jane Slater joining us now on the official pregame show of America's Team. Jane, how we doing?
I'm doing good. I heard the first question, and the answer is I set up a cot, and it got a little chilly overnight. But, yeah, I mean, I've been here since early Saturday, and it was really cold yesterday.
Shout out to you, Marcus.
It's warmed up a little bit.
Sailors.
This is one
Let's
of
go,
my
Cowboys.
favorite matchups
$2
to come
super
to.
chat.
If you're at home and you're listening to this or you're in your cars, the atmosphere is amazing. I mean, it always, when we were here, 2 years ago, it felt like a playoff experience, especially when that game was close. And tonight, it feels the same. It's really electric, and we've still got, 42 minutes to go?
Jane, how do they slay the Giant today? What is, I know you've talked about it probably all day, but what's the one thing your Dallas Cowboys have to do to slay this one?
I think they have to limit the big plays, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. We felt sort of this quiet confidence about that position opposite Trayvon Diggs all week, and I think it was probably one of the worst kept secrets that Xavier Rhodes was going to come up from the practice squad. That happened this afternoon around 4. So it sounds like they feel really, really good there about what they're getting at that position, and they're going to need it because I think we can expect probably Trayvon Diggs to be traveling with Mike Evans. Tell me if I'm wrong, Brian. And
no, you're
Chris
good.
Godwin.
All good.
You're gonna need a guy like Xavier Rhodes, and I covered Minnesota a little bit at the NFL Network as well, a couple of games, and all roads closed, I think, is what they're sort of hoping for tonight in terms of limiting him. And the other thing is run defense. Leonard Fournette hasn't really had a big year, but his best game was against the Cowboys. In week one.
We didn't have Hankins week one.
Leighton Van Der Esch, I think that's huge.
NFL Network's Jane Slater with us here on the official pregame show of the Dallas Cowboys, getting you set for Cowboys and Bucks. Now, Jane, as you've met with some of these players and been around both these teams, what's the nugget or storyline that you're most interested in regards to this one?
I think it's offensive line for both these teams.
Break it down,
Tom Brady
Jay.
hasn't had a lot of help there. Lots of injuries. I was talking to one of the guys of the PR staff, Sarah Walsh. My colleague's been covering the Bucs.
Sarah Walsh.
He said, yeah, we shouldn't have really played some of our starters last week because we got too injured in the limited series they were in. So they sort of have dealt with the same issues the Cowboys have. I thought what was great tonight was learning that Jason Peters is getting a start at left tackle. This will be a second start. But what it says to you is they're fortifying that line for Dak Prescott. They're not going to shy away from the passing game. And you've got a guy like Jason Peters. This will now be his 7th postseason appearance. I just think that's huge for Dak because, Brian, I've listened to you on the show this week. I think there's been times this year where it hasn't really felt like Dak has trusted his protection up front.
No.
And so I think having a guy like Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, everyone I've talked to, I said, Tyler Biadasz, is he really that big of a deal? They said, absolutely. We don't think of him like a Travis Frederick, but it's the communication. And even, talking to Ezekiel Elliott last week when I said, why wasn't the run game getting going? He said it was because these defensive shifts at the last minute and the offensive line, when you're moving 3 different guys there, and he didn't call out anyone, but he said, it's been happening to us at different times this season. Tampa Bay will absolutely do it, but they shift at the last minute, and it was really hard for the offensive line and the offense to sort of adjust to that. And I think this will at least address that a little bit, particularly when you got guys like Devin White and what's his face?
Levante David.
The other linebacker. Yeah.
I've said it all day.
I get you.
I think I would get it straight. But
Now
yeah,
get that shot of hand, Jay.
Those two guys are
Get some
aggressive.
hand,
sort of
Jay.
tricking them. Last week in Washington, they made you think they were going in one gap, and then they go to the other at the last minute. So they are keenly aware of that. They're zero in on it. But I think just having a guy on the offensive line like Jason Peters really helps you out.
Jane, you're close
Appreciate
to
you,
Dak
Austin.
Prescott. I mean, he likes you. I know he does. He trusts you and all that.
I like you. I do.
The word like legacy games and stuff like that get thrown around at this time of year. Is this that type of game for Dak in having to go win one of these and get people off his back about the playoffs?
Tony Romo dealt with Dallas. Remember, you're only judged in Dallas with your success in the postseason, and right now his
Get that good
record
Wi-Fi.
is 1-3. He's got 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and the only way you write that is to have success in the postseason. I mean, the reason why we talk about Tom Brady the way we do is he's 35-12 in the postseason, and so, there were times at some of these games in the locker room, Dak seemed as shocked as maybe the fans that he was dealing some of these struggles. But he's always the type of guy, I feel like, that rises to the occasion. I had to laugh. I was down there at the waterfront, made a quick bite to eat between the morning show and the afternoon shows. And Dak and Zeke and a couple of the players would come out on their balcony because they were staying at the hotel right downtown. And the Tampa fans were just heckling him. One just kept bringing up the interceptions. I think Dak loves that. The more that Dak has heard it this week,
I
he
ain't
says he
never
doesn't pay
scared.
attention.
Y'all hear that in the back?
Social media or whatever. But these guys are paying attention. They know what's being said. And I think he's taken it to heart, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see him have one of his bigger games tonight.
Beautiful. Jane, before we let you out of here, what is the Cowboy fan looking like out there? Is it popping with some blue, or is this a full Bucs
There's
crowd?
a lot of Cowboys fans here.
Yeah, we roll deep, baby.
It's amazing. And they were all over downtown. Of course, they got so fired up for the bit that is Michael Irvin and Stephen A. Smith. But I've got a ton of friends that are here from Dallas and Austin that traveled for this game. Because as much as we haven't even talked about this could be Tom Brady's last game.
Sure.
It may be his last game with the Bucs. And I had to laugh. Micah Parsons, before we go, he had told me in the offseason, I did a sit down with him. We were talking about Tom Brady. And he said he had hoped that the first game of the season was on grass because all he wanted was a jersey with grass stains on it from Tom Brady. Like, that would be truly iconic for the man cave. And, of course, he didn't get that. Well, today could be his opportunity to do that. We'll see if he gets it done or if Tom Brady brushes him off the way that Aaron Rodgers did. That poor rookie. Remember when he went up to him and he's like, nah, man, we're good. I imagine that Tom would bless Micah Parsons with something like that if he was able to get to him.
Absolutely. Parsons has earned that to this point. Jane, we greatly appreciate the time as always. Enjoying the game and get back home safely.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, ma'am. There she goes. NFL Network's Jane Slater right here on the official pregame show of America's team. Mike.
Appreciate y'all, man, so much. So what we do at this time, we're going to shut this stream down and open up the real stream, the play-by-play stream. I appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. Be sure, don't touch that dial now. Don't leave me, man. Don't leave me, dog. You know. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to shut this stream down, and we're going to open up the real stream, the real game stream. Appreciate each and every last one of you all. Thank those who supported. Thank you guys for staying with me and sticking with me on this pregame show, and I will be right back in 10 minutes or less. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Let's go.